When we last left our heroes, they'd just learned that the biggest heist in the history of the island was currently in progress. A group of criminals had barricaded themselves inside the Amberwood Bank and had been trapped in there for over 2 days, negotiating with the guards. However, what nobody knew about was that the heist was a distraction, because underneath the bank, the robbers were working to uncover an ancient relic that had been hidden for centuries, and was their only shot at escaping from the rat trap they'd purposely gotten stuck in. I can't believe they stole my idea. I wanted to rob the bank. Don't worry, Jay, we can rob the next bank we find. The party quickly decided that they didn't want to get involved, and headed back to the tavern to get a good night's rest after the chaos that the past few days had been for them. The next morning, they went to Madam Eva's fortunes after seeing it written about on the second-hand map they had bought. After a few minutes of traveling, the party arrived outside of a small building tucked into a dark nook in the corner of Merchant Lane. They walked inside and saw a woman in a dark purple cloak sitting at a table with a crystal ball resting in front of her. I require 50 silver pieces to generate the power to fuel the crystal. This is why you should use the squirrel method to predict fortunes. It's much more effective. The party quickly paid her with all of the money they'd found at the Baronor family diner, and the room went dark as the crystal ball lit up. I see you! Walking down a city street on a dark night. On the building behind you is a man with acid green eyes. And then, crap, it cut out. Just give it a second to reboot. This wouldn't happen with the squirrel method. Alright, it's working again. Now I see that you are all in the middle of a chaotic battle on a bridge. However, preparing, beware the thought contagion. To get their revenge is an old enemy who you thought was dead. What was that? An old enemy who you thought was dead is going to attack you while you're distracted on a bridge. No, I meant the part in the middle. The bit about a thought contagion or something? I don't know what you're talking about. Alright, sorry, keep going with your next fortune. I see you all making a deal with a treacherous noble and paying the price in blood. Well, that was ominous. If you would use the squirrel method, then the fortunes would be much more uplifting. The party thanked Madam Eva for her fortunes, and when the party arrived back at the Redwater Inn to drink and relax, a semi-familiar face walked up to them. It was a half-elf bard in a dark red cloak. My friend said that your group is willing to do mercenary work? Potentially, depending on what the job is. Well, I have a task of questionable legality that I need your assistance with, though the pay should more than compensate for any difficulties you may encounter in your work. Did I hear something about a large amount of pay? We're in. The bard and the party went to another room where they wouldn't be overheard. The job is very simple. At 11 o'clock, there will be a cart passing down through Merchant Lane. There will be 2 guards on the front of the cart. I need you to distract the guards long enough for me to break into the cart. I don't care how you do it, as long as it gets done. There shouldn't be any other guards nearby, because they'll all be distracted with the Amberwood Bank Heist. Any questions? How do you know that the cart is going to be there at 11? The Leovalar Theater is showing the Star War tonight, and I know that the owner of this cart has bought tickets, and this is the best route from his house to the theater. Let's meet 30 minutes early in the alley next to Van Moorn's bookstore just in case he arrives early. Sounds like a plan. I'm Tenebris, by the way. I don't think we ever caught your name. The bard paused for a second to consider whether she could actually trust these people. The name's Malvira. Now let's go commit a crime. The party laid low for most of the day while brainstorming a plan for distracting the guards, and that night they met up with Malvira and waited for the cart. A few minutes later, they heard the horses pulling the cart down the street. The party quickly took a glance and they realized that they recognized this cart. It was the one that they had seen riding into the city a few days ago when they had left to go to the Baronor family diner. They didn't have much time to think about that because the cart was moving fast. And at the perfect moment, Jay ran and jumped into the side of the cart with a loud crash, then dropped to the ground. At that exact same time, Edith used a spell to shatter one of the wheels. Holy shit, you ran him over! Ran who over? "My friend, we just walked out of Van Morn's and you just ran right over him. Why didn't you look where you were going?" The cart had stopped and the guards were distracted, so Malvira drew her red crystal rapier and snuck into the back of the cart, where there was an extremely wealthy man in a well-maintained suit that had a small sigil on it, depicting a skull with a syringe stabbed into it. While Malvira was trying to get answers inside, the rest of the party continued making a scene and distracting the guards. They managed to even swindle them into giving Jay 1,000 silver pieces as compensation. After a few minutes, the party saw blood dripping out of the bottom of the cart, and they decided to wrap things up quickly. As a last-ditch attempt at buying Malvira some time, Edith summoned a zombie to distract the guards. However, this actually ended up scaring the horses, causing them to run away, dragging the cart behind them, and since the cart only had 3 wheels, it quickly started to careen out of control, crashing into the sourdough emporium. As it crashed, a lantern inside of the cart shattered, lighting the entire building on fire. After a few minutes, the party saw Malvira, covered in blood, stumble into the alley and drop a bag containing 4,000 silver pieces on the floor for the party, then walk away. Now that's what I call a successful mission. The party went back to the Redwater Inn and spent a lot of money on ale to celebrate another successful mission. However, back at the Ambrek Bank, the robbers had almost finished acquiring the magic item they were trying to get, an orb of dragon kind, and the heist would soon come to a close, one way or another. The next morning, the party decided to take a day off and explore the city a bit. However, the world had other plans, because at 10 in the morning, exactly 72 hours since the heist had begun, the party saw an ancient red dragon fly towards the city and immediately destroy the top half of the massive clock tower. Then it began breathing fire down on the city of Amberwood. The party immediately ran towards the local cart rental service so that they could grab a cart and get out of here before things got even worse. Hello and welcome to Cartbox. Hi, we would like a cart to go up to Silverwick, and quickly please. Are you Cartbox Premium members? No? Would it be faster to just sign up instead of listening to your pitch about it? Probably. Sign up is basically free except you owe Cartbox a favor at a future point. Cartbox Premium members get a 90% discount on cart rentals, meaning your trip to Silverwick would only be 10 copper. Assuming that you return the cart and horse to the Cartbox in Silverwick, otherwise we'll be forced to send operatives to retrieve our property. Plus interest. Perfect! We want that! Now, can we have a cart, please? The party got their cart and went back into the streets of Amberwood, and saw that even though it was late morning, it was dark out, because the sheer volume of smoke rising up from the burning city was literally blocking out the sun. They rushed through the chaotic streets and back alleys and managed to escape from Amberwood, and began traveling north on the road, away from the decimated city behind them. However, still inside the city, at Blinsky's Toys, the ceiling had caved in. Blinsky was trapped under a fallen beam, and as he was dying, he got angry. The store had finally begun to do well, and then those criminals had ruined everything. His life's dream was literally burning around him, and even though Blinsky died, the anger and rage that had bubbled up inside him kept him tethered to this world, and his spirit stayed behind, waiting for the day that he would get his revenge.